Fortunately or unfortunately, our incentives are skewed towards viewing gold medals as the main KPI. The most vocal Singapore athlete we have, So Ryong. His big point, the reality is that we as Singapore are sending a bunch of full-time students, software engineers, teachers, government employees and corporate workers to compete against the likes of SEA Games athletes from other countries who are full-time professional athletes. I think what he's saying is that you can't bring knives to a gunfight.
At the end of the day, as an athlete in Singapore, you're not making millions of dollars. Most people would think, fuck your career, how are you going to sustain yourself? They're making such sacrifices.
The last thing you should do is to go in and be sad or, just be very down about what happened. In fact, the main thing is to pick up the pieces, move on, and focus on how to get better from this experience. Do you know how Singapore uses feng shui in its skyline? Why we release millions of mosquitoes across the island every week? The dark stories behind iconic tourist attractions like Haw Par Villa. You don't? Don't worry. That's exactly why Tell You First is back for Season 2. Tell You First is our other podcast where we dive into the most random everyday topics from history, pop culture, science, and even the weird things you Google at 3 a.m. Like how the rap song Why You So Like That changed Singapore's music scene forever. The best part is, only one of us knows the details, while the other is just vibing, guessing, and sometimes just embarrassing themselves. So you get to learn with us, all with a good laugh. And what's special about Season 2? Guest episodes are now on video. That means you can watch us get schooled by our awesome guests like Muna, Gurmit Singh, Radio DJ Ray, Science Educator BioGirl MJ, and many others. Our educational humiliation, all in glorious 4K. Want it fast? Head to the 𝗎 app and watch episodes the moment they drop. Or you can catch them 1 week later on the 𝗎𝗂𝗏 Entertainment YouTube channel. So do yourself a favor and use the link in the show notes or search for Tell You First on the 𝗎 app, Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And now, onto the podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Terence?
Good old humor.
Good old humor, man. How's the Christmas Eve or the weekend before Christmas, man?
The thing is, I was quite surprised that, I didn't see a lot of people having Christmas parties or, fruit shops and everything being cleared out for Christmas parties or anything like that over the weekend, which I ever thought would have happened, like people having early Christmas parties.
What do you mean, like fruit shops being cleared out,
Like the regular fruit shop I go to, it was very empty, as in nobody was buying stuff. I was thinking that, given that it's Christmas party weekend, I thought everybody would be buying lots of fruits or served guests and everything.
Is that your indicator for Christmas parties?
It's an indicator for how active people are. There's this fruit shop I go to, HDB, everything. That is there's a lot of people on certain weekends, Chinese New Year, obviously, or holiday weekends.
Oh, really? That's your benchmark? That's your...
Yeah. And just the streets not that crowded and things like that.
Yeah.
So, either a lot of people are away or...
Maybe just people eating less fruits, Terence?
Possible, of course possible. But, we try to apply some kind of logic to the world, right? Rather than just default to what is the most basic explanation, right? That's
Occam's razor.
Yeah. The idea of try and apply a little bit of analysis. But I was surprised. And then, didn't seem like a lot of, cars parked everywhere, people dressed up, walking around and all. Do you see a lot of that?
No, Singapore is definitely emptier, which is great, it's nice. This time of year, it always feels like that. But whether it's less Christmassy than last year, I don't know. Still feels tiring.
Tiring?
Tiring.
But as in you're attending Christmas parties and all, is that?
Yeah, just Christmas stuff to do, Christmas shopping and stuff like that.
Going church doesn't count. Christmas, I'm talking about
excluding church.
The secular world, Harish.
Yeah. No, Christmas shopping, stuff like that. Yeah. That one... still felt certain malls felt less crowded, but still festive-ish.
No, exactly. That's the thing. They feel less crowded. Don't have the mad rush,
Oh.
No, because we came from London.
Yeah.
The last day in London, my 30-hour trek from the hotel back to Singapore. In that time, I visited at least 3 malls and I was destroyed. They were packed. to the brim, right?
Yeah, lah.
I have not felt that in Singapore, lah.
Yeah, so you mean your 8-hour shopping and 22-hour journey back to Singapore?
Door to door.
It
Getting
doesn't
from
count
London
what
to
you
Singapore.
do between leaving your hotel and the
Door
airport.
to door. The moment I lose the ability to change my underwear freely,
That's
means I'm
your own
traveling,
problem. That's your own problem.
Right? Yeah, it's me. It's my definition of it.
Yeah, so
you have a different definition. I have a different definition. You cannot define for people what it means.
Anecdotally, just from talking to some other people, like they not. I haven't heard one person who resonate with that. Yeah, it took you 30 hours to come back to Singapore.
I mean, anecdotally, I can't trust it. I mean, mine is based on anecdotally. I talked to a lot of people. They agree the same thing. It's all harsh.
Maybe it's time for another poll on Reddit.
Maybe. Yeah,
Did Terrence take 30 hours to come back to Singapore or not?
Yeah, it was a 30-hour journey.
30-hour journey back to Singapore.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, it's crowded.
Maybe these few days.
I don't know. I'm a bit confused now, because there's a whole narrative that Chinese people not traveling to Japan anymore. So a lot more are coming to Singapore for holidays and all that.
Yeah.
So I thought, there'll be a big influx of tourists, but no, I haven't felt that as much.
I mean, it's nice. Like, I mean, this whole Singapore emptying out during December, it feels familiar. The thing about the mad rush pre-Christmas, yeah, true. When I went to the mall yesterday, it didn't feel like people were panicking yet.
But maybe it comes because Christmas is in the middle of the week this time. So even this past weekend felt too early to really celebrate Christmas.
And I don't know how it was in like Orchard or anything, because the places you went in London was like the central.
Harrods.
Yeah, so that one maybe it's still crazy. Maybe it's yesterday in Orchard it was crazy.
Maybe, yeah. I wasn't in Orchard to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is Christmas week.
Yeah. But how much of your Christmas is like, you don't have to give specifics, but how much is like religious related stuff? How much is like secular Christmas stuff?
I would say actually like 10% is religious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really.
But you have to attend some service, right? There's
correct. On Christmas Day.
Christmas Eve night.
No. Last time we used to go for midnight mass.
Yeah, midnight mass. Yeah.
But last year with our kid, we went for midnight mass and it wasn't the best idea.
Disaster, yeah.
So this year we're going on the morning of Christmas Day.
Christmas Day morning.
Yeah. But apart from that, like,
also that's it.
That's it?
Santa Claus, everything, no?
No, I haven't started dressing up for Santa Claus yet.
Okay.
At some point, that was the first time I thought, hey, actually it'd be fun to dress up as Santa Claus.
Yeah. I think that's always fun.
Yeah.
Have you gone for the they actually get the ang moh to wear the Santa costume? Like,
where?
I think at 𝗀𝗏𝗏 Court there's one. Great Wall City there was one over the weekend also. Yeah, you're not going to do that, nah?
No.
Get
But
family
we
with
did
the
go to
white Santa Claus.
We did go to Winter Wonderland on Friday.
Oh yes. Gardens by the Bay.
And it wasn't that we went at night like 7 plus.
But that's when it should be packed, right?
It wasn't.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so maybe that's where it feels like I was expecting it to be a lot more packed. So it was very pleasant.
You're right. Yeah, I saw a 1-for-1 ticket offer somewhere online also.
Sorry, not Winter Wonderland, the one inside the dome.
Oh.
Winter Wonderland is outside.
Is it Togetherland or something, is it?
No not Togetherland something Christmassy
Togetherland by World Christmas Market, no.
No.
Oh, that's that Bayfront, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was one in the dome.
Oh, you didn't go for the outside one with the...
No, I didn't go for the outside one. But inside the dome was lovely, man.
Okay.
I really liked it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, is it called Winter Wonderland?
That's the one outside for sure.
Oh.
Then there's a Togetherland, that's at Bayfront, which is different.
not Togetherland.
Yeah, but I don't know the rest of them. Now they're starting to get very exotic names.
Christmas Wonderland. Christmas Wonderland.
Wow. So there's a Christmas Wonderland, there's a Winter Wonderland, there's a Togetherland.
No, then there's a Gardens by the Bay Christmas train show. Maybe that's the one. Because there were definitely trains.
Yeah. Yes. There's one that 𝗪𝗲 𝗪𝗶𝘁 was promoting as well.
Oh, because of the train?
Yeah. Because there's like Thomas Trains or something like that.
Yeah, correct. So that was nice.
Yeah.
We didn't go to Christmas Wonderland. The train one.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the train one.
Okay.
And it wasn't crowded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nice. Great.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
90% secular.
So
Christmas.
looks like, the Grinch is no longer me, Terrence.
But I'm not grinching.
You damn grinching.
Why? In what way?
You're saying like, don't know, not crowded, Singapore, like not festive, It's like, meh.
No. I'm saying I'm surprised there's not more. That's not grinching. That's more.
You don't sound very happy or festive.
No. I mean, not that I want more crowds, but no, in fact, more worried than anything.
Oh, worried.
That we're the tourist influx and everything that we expected did not materialize.
Yeah.
So not good for Singapore businesses also.
Wow, so macro.
Yeah. Christmas, I do try to analyze it at it.
Grinch lah, just admit it lah.
We'll see lah. I think I am much more into Christmas than you are, like in general.
Don't anyhow assume.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know what we are waiting to see.
Yeah.
But the show must go on.
Yes.
And we do have news to talk about.
Yeah.
And the first topic is something that, not say related to Christmas per se, just happening around Christmas time lah. And it is the, I guess, recap of how the Singapore SEA Games contingent did in this installation of SEA Games.
Yeah.
Because also on the 20th of December, so Saturday, there was a wrap-up Team Singapore review held at the Grand Four Winds Convention Hotel, where three prominent individuals gave their thoughts lah. One was the Singapore chef de mission Lawrence Liao. One was the SNOC president 𝗪𝗏, and one was the let's see, what's his name? Do you have it?
Dr. Su, right?
Dr. Su, yes. Who is from the High Performance Sports Institute of Singapore. And they gave some review recap of like the Team Singapore team. The Team Singapore from SEA Games.
Yep.
But before we dive into the basics, what do you feel about Singapore's performance this year, this SEA Games?
Just purely as a spectator, I was quite entertained. I felt coverage really focused a lot on a lot of the young athletes participating for the first time as well. Obviously, excited when people win medals as well, but seeing a lot of the young competitors excel in competitions that we, never knew that we had a shot in, like karate or, the hurdles and things like that. That was pretty exciting to see. And just seeing that, there is potential for the future as well. So, I was following quite a bit initially. Maybe it dropped off the last few days after So Ryong's event. But I thought it was a good showing and felt quite positive, the whole thing.
Yeah. For me also, which is why, generally quite positive. And I think the biggest thing that stood out was the number of young participants that won. And apparently like 60% of the Singapore contingent are made their SEA Games debut.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, it's very heartening. But if you look at the articles from this review, some of the captions were, at SEA Games 2025, outmuscled, outpaced, and outlasted SNOC Blast Young Lions. That's on the Straits Times. Then on CNA, Young Lions Singapore badminton team taken to task by officials after poor SEA Games showings. And there was only one article on CNA where it also mentioned young athletes' performance at SEA Games signal bright sporting future for Singapore. And that was mentioned by the chief of the High Performance Sports Institute, Su Junwei. So, what made you want to talk about these news articles?
I think the primary thing that popped up on my newsfeed was 𝗪𝗪𝗀's comments about the Singapore football team. I did not realize also that he also spoke quite scathingly about not just football, right? I think also, not say athletics was also called out. Athletics was also called out in terms of like asking them to come to the party, right? That's the statement. Is join the party and win more gold medals for Singapore. Essentially, 𝗪𝗪𝗀, the SNOC Secretary General, said that, like Singapore Aquatics was already, did very well, for example, and he was hoping for, Singapore Athletics to join the party and win more gold medals based on the showing that they had, which was, I think, like 2 gold medals.
3 out of 47.
3 out of 47, very few this whole camp. Few in there by his definition in this campaign. So I thought that was pretty rough assessment, especially so quickly after the games without like a lot of time for everyone to breathe and think about it. And I'm just wondering, is that the norm going forward, where we basically immediately put put these sports on blast if we feel that their performance is not good enough.
Yeah. I mean, the two that he called out, the Singapore football, I think that was the ones that... So, admittedly, we couldn't find any long-form clip of the 1 hour session that happened on 20th December. We're all just basing it off on what's publicly available. It'd be cool if they actually did put that online. Because if you just look at the clips, I also felt like, for 𝗪𝗏𝗪 SNOC president being that scathing, like what you said, that scathing that soon, I don't even know whether a lot of the athletes are back in Singapore yet.
Sure. If they finish their events, probably.
Probably. Yeah. But we still might have some people, like the tail end and all.
Yeah.
And to give that assessment and for the media to have more articles talking about the negatives than the positives, that I felt like, like what you said, is this the best approach? Because, I mean, even if you look at the football games, right? They played 2 games.
Yeah.
They lost to Timor-Leste. The first game on 6th December and Thailand 3-0 on 11th December. I mean, okay, like when I first heard they lost to Timor-Leste, the under-22 team, I was like, shit, Timor-Leste is a pretty young country. And the goals, it's not say they dominated and Timor-Leste scored 3 free goals. Yeah, Timor-Leste had a lot of chances. Against Thailand, they held out for the first half. Then they collapsed in like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And okay, not ideal. And I don't know about the sportsmanship issues because he also said that, they didn't acknowledge the Singapore fans, which is not good.
Yeah.
But if you watch the game, there were some bright sparks. So that's why I was like, okay, that's why I don't know what else was said at the conference.
Yeah.
It was 1 hour. These clips are like a few minutes only. I hope there was more positive sentiments shared.
Yeah. I guess also, the bigger picture is it really only if you win gold medals, then you get a positive, right? And unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, our incentives are skewed towards viewing gold medals as the main KPI. For example, in Singapore, athletes only get a monetary bonus if they achieve gold. You get nothing for silver or bronze. Yeah, you get nothing for silver.
But Olympics, I think you do.
Olympics probably. Yeah.
Or for SEA Games,
but
no.
SEA Games, no.
Oh, shit.
So nothing for silver or bronze. So it kind of tells you what they view as success, or what they view as a failure, right? You get silver or bronze, that means nothing to them, right? Which quite surprising for me, but I guess I'm not an athlete for certain reasons also, right? But it kind of tells you what the KPIs are as an organization and what they see as real success. It does make me think, is that the kind of mentality that we are promoting for sports in Singapore, right? Especially after this trip to London as well, where we went to watch a Premier League game with Burnley, right? And then we saw the inner workings of the football club after a very quite a close loss that they suffered at home. And the general consensus amongst everyone who works there, everyone who's doing any kind of job in the club there, is that after a loss, the one thing you don't do is sit there and be the Grinch, right? And grouch about how bad that loss was and how badly we played and things like that. That's the last thing you want to do as a team, right? To dwell on the loss. Of course, you have to analyze the reasons why take a step back and all. But especially immediately the day after the loss and all that, the last thing you should do is to go in and be sad or just be very down about what happened the day before. In fact, the main thing is to pick up the pieces, move on, try and instill some confidence back into everyone, the squad, and focus on how to get better from this experience. So just seeing the way that they did it in this press conference, I was like, whoa, that's they've definitely not had time to really sit back and do an AAR after action review or anything. And they already have such scathing reviews of the different sports. So that's where I was quite shocked.
Now, you also called out badminton.
Yes.
Where there was the world number 10, Loh Kian Yew, and Jason Tay, who's world number 21, who didn't make it past the playoffs or didn't get any medals. Yeah. And they were both kind of defeated quite significantly by the Indonesian unseeded player. And if you watch the game, if you watch the game, there were quite a few unforced errors and all. But even then, I think like what you said, the Burnley thing, I remember when I was quite surprised that after a loss where there were obviously mistakes, the first half was bad, it really felt like, move on. And then I think what struck out to me, because last time when I used to play sports, we lose, we kind of scolded like crazy by the coach.
Yeah.
But then I think that was the difference that Sean pointed out, in the sense that at the end of the day, these are all professional players. Why would they want to lose? They know they fucked up. They know they didn't play well. And it is about being professional. You move on. And looking at these athletes, I mean, okay, a lot of them are not doing it full time, but I don't think they're like schoolboys or schoolgirls, young kids who will be like, okay, you know what, just lose. I don't think they're taking it lightly.
Yeah.
So that's where, I think it's okay to highlight what didn't go wrong, but I felt like maybe more props, maybe even for the mainstream media, more props to the athletes, and what they did well.
Yeah. So you're saying that in your time as representing Singapore and all that, were you ever taken to task in such a manner, like when y'all don't perform well? And
I think
all that?
more during the school games. Yeah, for the national age group team, kena scolded and all that, but it still felt like, okay, we have to move on, because we only used to play in the tournaments where it's like a week or two, right? Whereas the school games is like over a few months.
Yeah.
And the school games, you're in school, you can't just run away from training. It's harder,
Yeah.
And maybe the type of coach also, there was a lot of after the game, you almost made to cry like that. But
so is that good? Is that character building for you?
I mean, looking back, I don't think it was the best. But yes, because character building, it teaches you grit, it teaches you not to give up. But the enjoyment is less. Yeah, and I think for professionals, that part of why are they doing this? They could do other things, right? I think that was quite illuminating, especially when Sean said
Yeah.
We spoke to a few Burnley people and they said, the players need to have fun.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, no, what? You're going to war. But at the end of the day, it's like a job, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to stay in a job where you hate.
Yeah.
As a schoolboy, I think that one different.
Yeah. I think there's you touched on quite a lot of points in there, right? They are professionals, but when you play for the national team, you really only see each other every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Like what Gavin Lee, the coach, was saying, is that he really only sees his players every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if the Singapore team loses a game or has a bad game like the one against India where they gave away a very last minute goal, right? If he just whack them after that, and then after that he doesn't see them for 2 months, and then they come back again, and then they're expected to have gotten over it, right?
Yeah.
So I think there is something about the fact that these are the athletes who only perform or only compete once every few months or something like that, right? And this tough love thing might land differently from what you expect, as opposed to if you saw them on a very constant basis, and there's a way to make up for scolding you the last time and all that, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that I do see that as a difference, but I mean, obviously the athletic side of it, of course, we have to defer to the most vocal Singapore athlete we have, So Ryong, who already has made a Facebook post about it. And I think his big point, he posted something and he says that the reality is that we as Singapore are sending a bunch of full-time students, software engineers, teachers, government employees and corporate workers to compete against the likes of, then he lists out all the other SEA Games athletes from other countries who are full-time professional athletes, full-time professional runners, sponsored by corporate brands or sponsored by their own countries and things like that. And he points out that in Singapore, we have Chanti Pereira, who's a full-time athlete sponsored by Nike and a government scholarship, but she really is one in a generation, right? So he himself, he's studying for his MBA, running his own business as an entrepreneur, and also now competing at the SEA Games. So I think what he's saying is that you can't bring knives to a gunfight. He's really saying that the athletes from other countries get much more, have much more resources in terms of support for their endeavors, whereas the athletes in Singapore are, making ends meet while also training for these games. So he ends off by saying fixating on medal count to him is not a holistic way of measuring success at the games. Which it's a. I think you can tell what So Ryong is thinking about what Mark Chay said.
Yeah. And I mean, even Donald Low had a post that he said, he also found a comparison of athletics with swimming off-putting. And he pointed out, I guess from a more economic point of view, is that it maybe it's less about the lack of talent. It's just that swimming as a sport requires more resources.
Yeah.
And at this point, Singapore as a country, as citizens, we have more to invest in a sport like swimming compared to athletics.
Yeah.
Which I mean makes sense.
Yeah.
Like athletics is almost the most primal form, at least sprinting, you know.
Yeah.
It's the most primal sport. You don't need any equipment and you run.
Yeah. It's like versus kite foiling. I always laugh at the comparison, like a gold in running versus a gold in kite foiling. I mean, not saying that kite foiling is not a real sport, but the resources you need to even start kite foiling, right? I think most 99% of Singaporeans don't have the kind of resources to go into kite foiling, right?
Yeah. So that's why it's a bit odd. And I mean, at first I was thinking, okay, we are just observers giving this. But when you hear about athletes, SEA Games Singapore representatives speaking out, I guess maybe there is some tension because he also said that, he hasn't heard anything from the FAS about the performance of the boys.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I mean, I'm guessing given how, FAS, at least for the men's national team, it feels like there's a change. There probably are a lot of reviews being done.
Yeah.
Right? I think now it feels like, the senior team has qualified for the Asian Football Cup. The junior teams need to catch up because those sort of effects always happen, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, being so scathing, the one thing that I can maybe say, okay, I understand why maybe there's a bit more of a crosshair on the football team is because they weren't initially selected to go because of their performance. They put in an appeal, they played 2 closed-door matches with Malaysia and Philippines, and I think based off that results, SNOC made an exception to send them.
Yeah.
But even then, it feels like, I don't know, maybe it's also after having spoken to Gavin, having seen the Singapore football team, having had experience in London. For example, last time I know when Joseph Schooling didn't perform, I won't deny that. I was like, hey, come on, what's up?
Yeah.
But now I think it's important that as a country, we all try and see, okay, at the end of the day, as an athlete in Singapore, you're not making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You're not having the easiest life. In fact, most people would think, hey, fuck your career, how are you going to sustain yourself? They're making such sacrifices. And to hear that, wow, I don't know, man, just off-putting.
But the SNOC historically has also had run-ins with the Singapore Athletics as well. At one point, I think there was a lot of strife and infighting within the Singapore Athletics organization itself. Then SNOC stepped in to actually take over the management of the organization for a while. That was almost 10 years ago. So could it be that 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 is not necessarily scolding the athletes themselves, but actually trying to get the organizations behind them, whether it's the FAS or Singapore Athletics, to get the act together? Maybe in terms of is the organizations itself that he's criticizing rather than the athletes?
I mean, maybe. And to clarify, he's not the president, sorry. He's the Secretary General.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, to give them credit, I think, during the whole 𝗏𝗏 and controversy around the Olympics, they were the ones who prioritized sending the younger swimmer, Gan Ching-Wei, over 𝗏𝗏.
Yeah.
And I think we gave them props for that because they based it on her timing, her performance, rather than just almost like legacy or whatever 𝗏𝗏 has achieved. So on that sense, okay, felt like, okay, they do have certain things, but I mean, SNOC in general, I guess through the eyes of people like So Roo-yong and all, doesn't have the best rep. So, I mean, I think, okay, if you want to call out another organization, at the end of the day, who probably this is really targeting the players themselves. The organization is secondary. He does mention that the FAS and all was he's waiting for a response, but you look at all the articles, SNOC blast young lions. You never say SNOC blast the FAS. And it's very targeted, and the pictures are all of the players themselves.
Yeah.
So, feels a bit like, why? Why?
I mean, we can only speculate about any kind of internal politics behind it.
Yeah.
But I mean, for those who maybe don't know, I mean, literally there's something I had to Google. What is the relationship between SNOC, Singapore Athletics, and Sports SG, right? You know the difference, the main difference.
Maybe you can give more context.
Basically, SNOC is like they're in charge of selecting athletes to represent Singapore at the games. And then the Singapore Athletics, they can nominate the athletes for the games. But it's really up to SNOC to decide, okay, who do we want to send over? So SNOC, essentially, it takes care of the athletes, Singapore athletes that are sent to the games. Whereas I think like Singapore Athletics is the one that is day-to-day, managing the whole general Singapore athletics community. So SNOC is pretty much a gatekeeper for all the games. And
for all the games,
Olympics, SEA Games, Commonwealth, whatever, Asian Games and everything. And it's a non-profit, non-government organization, right? Although it is chaired by 𝗲𝗲 and all. But it's non-profit, non-governmental organization where a lot of the senior managers are also volunteers. So from that perspective, it's not like the bread is buttered to say certain things, right? They are volunteers. Maybe they are really just all about the best performers. If you're in charge of basically selecting across all different sports or the games, the only way you can really assess it is by looking at medal performance across all sports, whether it's kite foiling versus Singapore athletics, right?
But do they only look at performance on the track, Terence? As you know, as 𝗏𝗏 mentioned before last time, he had so many run-ins where his performance would meet the mark. But because of other off-field stuff, he cannot go. So that's where I think NOC fell into this bad rap of like, hey, then what are you...
SNOC, not
what did I say?
NOC.
No.
Freudian slip.
SNOC. SNOC. So, I mean, that also happened a few years ago. So even if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, I can get what you mean about how it's something we are almost ingrained in us, right? Like, we have limited resources. We need to dedicate resources to the best performing sports and all. But then, then why take part in athletics and all? Like, all this will never, like the newer sports, like, fencing got eight medals or 8 golds?
8 golds,
8 golds,
out
right?
of 12 possible.
Yeah, I mean, we also don't want to go down the path of like, we only focus on sports where we are getting the returns, right?
Because I've seen that happen before, back in secondary school.
Oh, yeah.
Raffles Institution, I remember back then they prioritized between the use of the field between rugby and football, and they ended up just culling the whole football team. And then a lot of the athletes who used to play football just, went to play rugby because it was like most prestigious and they could use the court. Use the field and everything.
I mean, Sec 2, I played football.
Yeah.
Sec 3, no more football.
Oh, yeah, it was called. It was during your time.
Yeah, it was my time. Sec 1, Sec 2, there was football. I mean, we didn't do the best.
So it's your fault. You are one of the... You're one of those underperforming ones who never accounted.
And the scars are still there, though.
Yeah.
It's something that my teammates and I were like, what the fuck is this? Like, there are like 157 schools that took part in football. We didn't make it to the South Zone playoffs or anything, but then just bad performance.
So it's your fault, basically.
It's my fault. Then, another thing, there's SNOC. We talk about, like Singapore as a country really supporting our athletes, right? And we did an episode on the 1994 win in the Malaysia Cup on 𝗪𝗪𝗪 that will be coming out sometime next year. But during that research, between 1992 to 1994, when Singapore was relegated, they called back 𝗲𝗲 𝗪𝗶, they got 𝗪𝗲 out of retirement, they got a new coach and whipped them up into shape. They created a music album for the team, right? So it felt like it's not just the organizations that play a part, it's not just the players, it's the country and media. So on that note, when I look at some of the titles for the videos on YouTube, on the 𝗦𝗂𝗀 channel, even they are quite harsh on the athletes, because like I was watching the highlights of 𝗏𝗀𝗀, it's like Singapore's 𝗏𝗀𝗀 collapses 21-10 versus 𝗬𝗏 in Game 2 exit. Then for 𝗏𝗏, which is something we highlighted, Singapore's 2023 silver medalist 𝗏𝗏 off the pace is lapped in 10 km race.
Yeah.
That is a 𝗦𝗂𝗀 upload. When you look at the other uploads of like the 𝗏𝗀𝗀 match against the other athletes, it's just there's another one by 𝗦𝗂𝗀 also, Singapore's 𝗏𝗀𝗀 loses 21-10. But I think the other one was more of a highlight reel or one or the other. It just felt like, for the media, right, this is one of those instances where I would I would prefer the title to be not as scathing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, what do you think about it? If they are reporting the facts that, I mean, if you look at 𝗏𝗏𝗏, he really got outplayed.
Yeah, he did.
But on one hand, we want the news to report like facts.
Yeah.
But then in this case, I feel like, hey,
focusing on the losing, right?
Chill lah.
Yeah. And it's quite telling. Sometimes because I follow a few different football clubs and the YouTube channels and all that, right? So every club uploads highlights from every game that they play. So sometimes you follow two different football clubs that play against each other. Then, the losing team will they'll title it like close fight, ends in loss for the team. And then the winning team will be like, another key victory for us. So definitely you can tell, there's some thought process going on behind the titling to, not dwell on the loss and not blast the players too much and everything, right? So in that sense, I am quite surprised by how MediaCorp was cutting out some of these highlights and highlighting them to people.
Yeah, right? like the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 one is literally a 1 minute 25 clip.
Yeah.
That just shows him being lapped.
Yeah.
Why? You want to show the race? You want to show the finish?
Yeah.
Sure. But it's just that clip from MediaCorp.
Yeah. I mean, okay, but there's certain things like there was a Singapore badminton player, 𝗬𝗂𝗍𝗍, who in the middle of a match, for some reason, I think he threw his racket in the middle of a point, right? And then the video is titled "Bizarre Scenes as Singapore's 𝗬𝗂𝗍𝗍 Throws Racket Away." Do you think that is
that one I think still okay?
Still okay. Because I didn't know what it was. Like, a lot of people say, it was lack of sportsmanship, but I was thinking maybe his hand hurt or something, and then he had to drop the racket or what.
Yeah.
It is bizarre. So it was correct to say it's bizarre. But the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 one, I was like, why are we almost like celebrating that he got down lap?
Yeah, because the bizarre thing, it feels okay, there's more to it. But when an athlete representing Singapore is really doing their best, be it 𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, or anyone else, to cut a clip, I mean, any runner, you think it feels nice to be lapped.
Yeah.
And then you fucking go and put that out. Like, I don't understand why. Like, why?
Yeah.
What is the reason for that?
Yeah, it was my One Shiok Thing, the 𝗏𝗏𝗏's participation.
The whole run, right?
But I mean, maybe because it was a One Shiok Thing, maybe some people might not have heard it. But if you really look at the results of the 10,000 meters, right? 𝗏𝗏𝗏, even holding Singapore's national record of 10,000 meters, even if he ran like at his national record pace, would not have podiumed at the SEA Games. That's how tough the competition was. That's how much competition has elevated since the last SEA Games, where 𝗏𝗏𝗏 placed silver with a slower than his Singapore national record time, right?
Yeah.
This time he was slower than his last round. But even if he ran at his absolute best at the Singapore national record time, he would not have podiumed at this race. So ultimately, it was not that 𝗏𝗏𝗏 got worse or anything like that. I think it really was just that the competition has leveled up, right? And conditions on the ground, I think we've spoken to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 before, where literally like the humidity, the heat, how comfortable their beds are at the games and things like that. All these little things get in the way of achieving the best ever performance at a games, right?
Yeah.
So very hard to just say, it's because Singapore athletics sucks. That's why.
Somehow he's the oldest and heaviest of all the finalists.
That one I don't know whether there's like a flex or what it means also, right?
No, but I was looking at the MediaCorp channel, and I mean, to their credit, when people do well, 𝗪𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 and all, they do title, 𝗪𝗏𝗏 anchors Singapore to women's 4x100 meter relay national record of 44.41 seconds. So in that instance, they didn't win, but they focused on the national record.
Correct.
That's great. That's kudos to MediaCorp. But I was looking for 𝗏𝗏𝗏. The highest performing video from SEA Games 2025 with him involved is that one lap, as opposed to the interviews and all. So not saying that MediaCorp is doing a bad job. Like, I think they upload all these videos is great. But certain things, it makes you think like, what was the context? What was the motivation to do a cut up like that? I mean, we know why we cut up shorter clips of a one long form podcast. It's either like the most shareable, the most, sometimes even like a statement that could get, polarizing views. All with the goal of drawing people to the end podcast. And sometimes we put out something controversial and say, okay, you can look at the whole thing. So if the intention was, what is the most watchable, most viral thing, that's where I hope there's a bit more editorial control.
But you think that MediaCorp should, maybe posting about So-ryong is going to get them viral clicks.
And him getting lapped. People will watch.
People will watch.
Because he's polarizing.
Yeah, some people will want to see him fail, right? That's what we know already.
Yeah.
Can you blame MediaCorp for leaning in on that? What's viral?
Yes.
Why? why do they have a greater obligation than say for us, for example, when we criticize something?
I mean, they are the national broadcaster of Singapore. I hate saying this phrase, but it's taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
And it is all meant about elevating Singapore content, producing content that Singaporeans want. But it's on you're almost exploiting a Singaporean putting his heart out there and maybe just not experiencing something good and maybe not doing as well as people would like him to. And that's why I feel like, okay, maybe it's like, the CNA with Pritam Singh.
Yeah.
He's going to get a lot of views. Putting it out that week. But is that the best time to put it? So that's why I feel that's where the editorial thing comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, if our national broadcaster doesn't focus on positives, then who will, right?
Yeah, then who will? Who will? You private broadcaster, your own YouTube channel, okay, whatever you go and do.
Yeah, you go and react go and make a video yourself.
Yeah, you go and make a video. So, I mean, really shout out to all the athletes who really tried their best, even if they didn't do as well as they want. I mean, I'm sure you ask Loki and you now how he feels.
Yeah.
People feel like shit, right?
And I mean, that 18-year-old guy that he played against, that guy was fucking phenomenal. You watched the thing, he was doing things that I thought, physically human body can't do, right?
Yeah, and he's 18. He's unseeded.
He's 18,
Even Jason Tay said, playing against him, he didn't know what happened.
Right. So, I don't know how much blame you can really put on the athletes themselves, as opposed to saying that the other countries are stepping up, right?
Yeah. I mean, I hope at the end of the day something good comes out of this. I hope every sports organization for Singapore, every athlete has some time to review, take a breather and kind of build for the next one.
But just now you were very shocked and I told you that Singapore silver and bronze medalists don't get monetary reward. You think that should be changed?
Wow, that one feels like, okay, need to understand the context a lot more because for Olympics there are, so at what tier? At Asian Games? Is there?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But I mean, even then, I think it's still a good motivator.
I mean, just a little bit, right? It doesn't have to be $10,000, maybe $500, $1,000.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so I know you're going to shit on me for this. But when I did the Subaru
okay, everyone, toilet break time in case you need to.
I haven't brought it up for a damn long time, okay? But the year that I did it, there was a prize for second place.
Okay.
So I got
first loser,
the biggest loser. Yeah. So, and it really made a world of difference because a few years after that, there was no prize for second place.
It was all or nothing really.
It was all or nothing. It's I remember thinking, I didn't even know about the second place thing at the start. So when it felt like shit, then after that, I was like, oh, okay. I think it was 5K or something.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. That was it. Even if it was 1K, it just feels like, okay, there was something that came out of it. So, all right, end of reference. End of reference.
No, it's, I don't know. I feel like, silver, bronze, it's still something we should institutionalize and, incentivize, right?
Yeah.
That this time you get silver, bronze, okay, it's good, but not great yet, but let's try to get to great, as opposed to it means almost nothing to the organization, right?
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, if 60% of the SEA Games representatives from Singapore were debutants and young, means that, okay, it bodes well for the future, which is something that Dr. Su did say. That young athletes' performance at SEA Games signal bright sporting future for Singapore because we're going to be hosting it in 2029.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was also him saying that, we would like them to medal upwards. Those who didn't win medals, in the next few years get medals. Those who medaled but didn't get gold, move up towards gold, which is a good message. So in some sense, I think there should be an incentive.
Yeah, correct.
There should be an incentive.
Yeah.
But
that's Quagmire win. 𝗪cie and I just saw something shocking. Now, apparently, over 60% of viewers of this channel are not even officially subscribed. This has to be a mistake, right? We know you're out there because so many have come up to tell us how much the podcast means to them. So, how can we fix this? do us a big favor and hit that subscribe button. It will mean a lot to us, and it's awesome to know that the 𝗪𝗲𝗏 community is only getting stronger every day. Thanks for listening. But speaking of, inappropriate relationships, right? I don't know. I'm struggling to find it because that was such a meaty topic. Now this one is like there's not a lot of good I can say, right? Other than that some people online have called out a particular content creator for basically, saying that she abuses her pet, right? And I'm not saying that athletes are pets of our sporting organizations, but I'm just saying that generally the relationship between the human and the pet are not the best, right? And she's been called out for it, but as the details are coming out, it seems like there are more and more allegations of certain different kind of abuse going on, right? Yeah. And who is this content creator?
It is 𝗬𝗎𝗔 𝗔𝗶, who goes by the by Mermaid.sg on TikTok and Instagram, whose accounts have recently been deleted following the allegations. So yeah, it started off with that video of her, her POV talking to a dog who is so. I don't have a dog. I'm not a dog expert, but it looks like the dog is like terrified of her.
Yeah.
And the worst part is the last few seconds she hits him. She hits the dog 3 times lah.
Yep.
And you can hear it audibly lah. And she's scolding him. So, but since then there have been allegations that she offers like sexual services with the dog involved.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how that came about. I think there were screen grabs of her in some skimpy outfit with a dog kind of in a position between
sniffing her crotch,
and people were saying, she offers these sort of services involving a dog lah.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? So Terence, like, what are your thoughts on this as the resident researcher for these sort of topics?
Because I'm interested in dogs, yeah, I'm a dog owner. Let's just put it out there. But we will go to your OnlyFans account later. But
of course.
The main thing is, the video of her beating the dog. I think it's. I think she says she also was interviewed and she asked to comment. She said that she doesn't believe in gentle parenting for dogs, right? But yeah, the dog does seem to be in fear. But at the same time, we don't have a full context of what happened or what the dog did or how she also treats a dog outside of this, right? Like if the dog is constantly, locked up at home in a cage or treated very badly, bathed in its own urine and feces, then I think outright you can say it's abuse of the dog, right? But there are also times when, and this is doesn't apply for me, but there are dogs that are very difficult to deal with, right? Whether behavioral issues, and regardless of whatever gentle parenting methods they try as well, sometimes some dogs just can't be tamed or can't be trained like that. And sometimes you do have to resort to fearsome methods of compliance, whether it's raising a voice or sometimes threatening physical sort of punishment, right? In order to get the dog in line, so that it doesn't do very harmful stuff like biting a human or biting a baby or things like that. It's just how it is. I know someone who has a dog that has never been in the same room as their child or their children.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they live in the house but has never been allowed to be in the same room. So it's always, once the baby came, then the dog is essentially has to be isolated already.
Oh.
And it sounds like cruelty, sounds like punishment, but the alternative is that the dog mauls the child and then has to be put down or sent away, right? So would you say that it's abuse if that's the case, right? So what I'm saying is that yes, it didn't look good, and I don't know why she posted on social media, but without more details about it, I can't just outright say that it's abuse or mistreating the dog.
That's a fair assessment, because I know, like, at one point I was watching a lot of the dog whisperers videos.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Cesar Millan.
Who I know is quite polarizing also.
Yeah.
But he does this thing where he sometimes kicks the dog in the big dogs.
Yeah.
And that also I know is damn polarizing. But I think I've spoken to you about this before, and you said something similar, that sometimes with dogs have come from all different backgrounds. Some of them have been traumatized. Some of them have been abused. So it's not easy to kind of just say just from that one video. And I realized also how it came about, the allegations of her offering sexual services with a dog, because a volunteer at a local animal welfare group, AWG, came across the allegations of abuse and looked into her Telegram account.
Yeah.
And she saw that there's a list of sexual services, including one labeled dog play.
Yeah.
So there's this video of her dog. You go to Telegram, you see a sexual service called dog play.
Yeah.
You see a screen grab of her with the dog near her crotch.
Yeah.
And people just join the dots.
Yeah. But I know you're probably expert at this, right?
Yeah,
so
no.
you're here to debunk the link between those two.
No. I'm just saying that that's a lot of different dots that have been joined, connected.
Yes.
Because, not to say that I practice it or not to say that I have engaged in it, but there are people out there with fetishes, and one of which is that whole dog play, tying someone on a leash or being tied on a leash and treated like a dog.
It is human to human, right?
Human to human,
means
no dogs involved.
So I had to look it up also because I'm not very familiar with it. But apparently, pet play is a thing.
It's a thing.
Where you essentially, one person pretends to be a master, the other person pretends to be a pet.
Yeah.
And it might involve, it's part of a BDSM thing, but it sometimes it's not even necessarily sexual, like the physical act of sex. But it's even just the feeling of dominance or the feeling of being dominated that people are going for. So it could even just be petting or just being told to do certain things.
Yeah, or drink water out of a cup or something like that.
So that's dog or pet play. Right?
Yeah, pet play. And people go to crazy extents to dress up as a pet.
Yeah, there are masks. And
there are people who create entire costumes and almost walk around as a dog.
Yeah.
Because they love it. I think there have been articles about people who want to live as a dog.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not defending it, but there are people out there who fetishize this sort of stuff. And if she's offering the services, okay, then whether or not offering dog play involving humans is illegal or legal, that's a separate thing.
Yeah.
But this one, I hope there's no sexual services involving the dog. She never helped her case also. She posted a photo of her with the dog at her crotch with the caption, "Who wants to be my dog?"
And then when they asked her for comments, Mothership said that she replied saying, "LOL, it's my pet. It can do whatever it wants. I don't see anything wrong with it." So I think her response might be, that you let your dog sniff your crotch and everything. But again, I'm going to play naysayer, and dogs do all these kind of things all the time. My dog has kicked me in the balls multiple times, and it's in the act of greeting me that it does it, right?
Not like pet play or anything.
It's not pet play at all. It's completely I'm so excited to see you. I'm going to jump and kick you in the balls. I can empathize with her when she says it's my pet. It can do whatever it wants, right? In the sense that you can't apply the same standards of decency to a dog. Like a dog is going to sniff your crotch. A dog is going to, lick you to the point and start humping your leg and all. But it doesn't mean that it's it's being abused or there's something sexual, psychosexual going on between the human and the dog.
Right? And you've never told your friends, I can't meet you for coffee. I got a session of dog play. I know.
Yeah. So in some ways, I think you're saying that Eunice Ng is she's being misunderstood, right?
Potentially, there's no hardcore evidence that points that she's an abuser or offers sexual services with a dog. So it's good that there's an investigation going. But if you look into her history, and I say this only because there have been interviews with her on other channels. I mean, she's had a history of depression and almost suicidal thoughts. And I mean, her story of why she started OnlyFans and all was for income, and I guess a lot of similar reasons to why other people start OnlyFans accounts. And I know a few episodes ago we spoke about another OnlyFans creator, 𝗬𝗲 𝗬𝗏. And turns out that Eunice Ng had worked for 𝗬𝗲 𝗬𝗏 as her PA. So it's almost this whole industry of OnlyFans, right? It's also quite confusing because there are these creators who are so open about what they do. But then for 𝗙𝗏 𝗧𝗵𝗏, I don't understand the difference about what happened to him versus what is allowed for these sort of individuals. That's why I think maybe it's a grey area. And at some point, the government might, clamp down on OnlyFans.
But what you're saying is the relationship with 𝗪𝗲 𝗲 what's the relevance to her?
No, I'm just saying this whole OnlyFans sphere, right?
Okay.
It is like any other industry,
Yeah.
There are people who hire other people as PAs.
Yeah.
And it's not just like this one-off things. And maybe, we just need to accept that there will always be people who offer these sort of things. Now, whether you offer dog play as a sexual service, I don't know whether that's legal or illegal. I'm assuming it's not.
Yeah.
Even if it's with humans.
Yeah.
So then that becomes a different problem. But to join the dots like that, I think a bit early.
Yeah. It's a bit strange. I mean, I don't advocate her beating her dog, but to, extrapolate it to like the dog play abuse and all that seems like jumping the gun a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
There might be, I think the investigation's going on because supposedly she posted on a Telegram story, "Mummy's gonna miss you," and a photo of her and her dog. So maybe the dog is sort of being taken in, or at least separated from her or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
We'll wait and see.
The world is getting weirder each and every day.
Yep.
But yeah, cool. All right. What is your One Shiok comment, Terrence?
My One Shiok comment is actually from it's not from any of our platforms, but it's on Reddit, on the Singapore Reddit, where I think someone 2 weeks ago had posted the news article of Singapore being beaten 3-1 by Timor-Leste in football, right, at the SEA Games, putting Young Lions on the brink of SEA Games elimination. And then I think there's a whole discussion on this subreddit about whether the Young Lions should be held to same standards as other athletes and things like that. Then someone actually somewhere in there, in my research, I found someone who commented that he's referencing that the impact of national service in Singapore's football, right? And they talk about how the impact of NS is overstated in Singapore's football discussion. And he referenced, I wanted to bring up a point that national coach Gavin Lee highlighted in his interview with 𝗪𝗏. Our pool of players come from different societal and cultural profile from other countries. Because of societal pressure, other opportunities, we simply don't have the drive to succeed in football. So, I just thought it was cool that people were debating about these issues based on things that they listened to on our podcast. And used in reference for a lot of these very heated debates about sports and football in Singapore. And this has happened entirely outside of the 𝗪𝗏 platforms. So cool. Good to know that we've informed debate like that as well.
Oh, that's cool, man. And that was on the Singapore Reddit.
The Singapore Reddit, yeah.
Singapore Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, mine was just like one comment on the Reddit post for the recent episode with 𝗪𝗏, which I mean is getting quite a good amount of views. I think I'm just happy that there are people who voice out any disagreement, but in a way that is somewhat civil, because there was someone 𝐴_extra. They said, while I agree that the 65% crowd are imbeciles, I'm not a fan of the united approach he takes with regards to foreign policy. I don't think Lawrence Wong has done anything particularly stupid yet, but if he does, then he should not be supported for the sake of it. Politicians are beholden to the constituents and not the other way around. Which, I mean, is their whole debate, even when it extends to athletes and politicians. If there is a Singaporean out there who maybe says something that is not good, how wholeheartedly should we support them because they are Singaporean? And I mean, it's just interesting to hear people voice disagreement with what 𝗪𝗏 said and just start a short discussion with some other Redditors. So I mean, that episode was a fun one to record. But what about your One Shiok Thing, man?
And my One Shiok Thing, it goes back to my earlier point about talking about, Christmas and everything. I'm super into Christmas. I'm not the Grinch of Christmas at all.
You know when people who are drunk say they're not drunk, they are the most drunk they ever are, right? But go on.
Yes. But I want to prove it, right? But over the weekend, I watched 𝗪𝗏's Christmas Carol, which is actually it's a Christmas classic based on Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol that you can watch it on Disney Plus, but you can also find the entire 25-minute, animation film on YouTube, lah. And it's I think it's from the 70s or 80s. I'm not very sure, but essentially it's just an adaptation of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol in the style of Mickey Mouse, lah. And just a nice little reminder of the why, even as a secular holiday, right? Christmas is there can be a nice message behind it as well. So, if you're feeling like a bit down about during this holiday season and all, sometimes watching these old, a bit more moralistic films about Christmas does feel nice, lah. Yeah. So the interesting thing also made me go down a rabbit hole of about the book itself, which I'm currently reading also, and how the book kind of reinvented Christmas for everyone. Because all the things that we take for granted for Christmas today, like Christmas tree, Christmas dinner, and the feeling of festiveness and all, actually it was on a decline back in the days in the 1840s, and it was this book that kind of revived it because it was so everyone read it, and then everyone partook in the festivities. So it kind of reinvented invented what modern Christmas is today for people.
Actually, because modern Christmas is not as religious as a lot of other religious festivals.
Yeah. I don't know whether there was religion involved in him writing A Christmas Carol, but the festivity, I think he brought it all back, apparently.
Yeah.
That was new to me.
The occasion is there, but the festivities around it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, mine is not related to Christmas.
Oh, okay. You're the Grinch.
Hey, I'm so Christmassy this week. You have no idea, okay? Wrapping presents. I got a hook to put a wreath on my our door and stuff like that.
Okay.
Hey, it's Christmas time, man, at home.
Okay.
But it's a video that I chanced upon on the Straits Times website about the winner of the 100-meter dash in the women's 75 to 79 age group at the Singapore Masters Track and Field Association Track and Field Championship. That happened actually in July. But she's a 79-year-old woman. She started her strength training journey at 72.
Wow.
And right now, she is 1.58 meters, weighs 49 kg, but she can do a 50 kg barbell back squat.
Whoa.
She can dead hang for over 3.5 minutes. She can do a weighted pull-up with 7.5 kilograms.
Whoa.
And she's 79.
Whoa, wow. What's her name again? Sorry.
Dr. Charlotte Lim.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And you look at it, you're like, oh my God. It's just very inspiring. How often you hear people say they started their strength training journey at 72?
Wow.
Helps that her children are both health and fitness coaches who run their own gym.
Yeah.
But still, man, come on.
Yeah.
It's crazy. She retired in her job at 57 and has had exercise on her own. So she's always been exercising, but was treadmill and light weights, but not the most focused. Then strength training, 79 no.
She can dead hang on the pull-up bar for 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
It's crazy. Wow.
That is insane. So, shout out to her because that is nuts. Her body fat is 15%. Crazy. Insane. She can do a Turkish get-up. Yeah, it's insane.
Insane.
So, very inspiring. So, kudos to Dr. Charlotte Lim. She won the 100-meter dash in 22.7 seconds, which is no stop 10 and all, but it's 79, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Pretty insane.
But yeah, cool, awesome. So that's the end of this episode. We have a special lineup coming up, lah.
Yeah. Actually, I think we might well talk about it now, right?
Yeah. So first will be the next episode, which is a new format.
Yeah. We're doing something different for 2025 to round up the year. We've tried a few different things in the past, but I think this year we want to. It was quite a seminal year for us, so we want to do it slightly differently, right?
Yeah, and just a hint, there'll be some winners and losers, whatever you interpret that to be.
Gold medalists and silver medalists.
Yeah, correct. But we only reward the goals.
Yeah.
And what else comes after that, Terence?
Actually, we also recorded a bunch of different podcasts with guests while we were in London, right? Very, very interesting Singaporean guests. And we'll be releasing them over the Christmas break period. So regardless of whether or not you're taking the week off or you're winding down or you're super busy, there'll be something for you during that period. We're not stopping.
Yeah, from the 26th, on the 26th, 29th, and 31st, it'll be a trilogy of episodes.
26,
29th,
29.
and 31st.
That's right.
It'll be a trilogy of episodes packaged together and hopefully as Christmassy and New Year's Eve as you would like it to be. So that's all coming out. So remember, hit subscribe, follow us wherever you're listening to us right now. Follow us on social media. So that's Instagram, TikTok, Telegram, and Reddit for other types of content. And if you want to get a consolidated email of all our One Shiok Things from a particular week, you can sign up for our newsletter at Your Little Bit. Call 𝗷𝗏𝗏𝗏 at 𝗏𝗏𝗏.com.
Yeah, and if you want to work with us, email us at contact@ministryoffunny.com or just go to ministryoffunny.com and see what we do there.
Solid. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll talk to y'all very soon.
Yeah.